Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Questions With. Last week, we had some amazing guests on the show, and boy, did we deep dive into their worlds. But here's the best part. We also uncovered their fun and playful sides. Our host, Scott Fullerton, has a treat for you today. You see, 5 Questions isn't just about serious stuff. We like to keep it light and quirky, too. We ask questions that let our guests show their wonderfully unique and playful sides. Imagine this. What would they do if they woke up as a squirrel one day? Or what's their favorite ice cream flavor that describes their personality? It's all about bringing out their hidden quirks and having a blast along the way. We believe that even the most successful and accomplished individuals have a fun side, and we're here to celebrate that. So get ready to witness the fun and playful side of our extraordinary guests. You'll laugh, you'll smile, and you might just discover a thing or two about them that you never knew. So sit back, grab a drink, and get ready for the show.
Alrighty, guys, if it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With. Back in studio with me today, very handsome, very charming, very spooky Mr. Brendan Haley is back in studio. Brendan, how you doing, my friend?
It's good. It's as if I had never left. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again. We had a fantastic interview last week. If you missed it, be sure to check out the links below here. We talked all about Brendan's amazing career. He's done it all, a little bit of podcasting, a little bit of acting, a little bit of behind the scenes magic. He does it all. This is your season, my friend, and all year round. I love it.
Well, thank you. That's such high praise.
You ready to play a little 5 questions?
Hit me with it.
All right, it's spooky season, so some of these are kind of geared for it. Let's start with question number 1. If you could choose any classic horror monster, quote unquote, to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who would you want by your side, and how do you think you'd survive?
I mean, I feel like I would probably want to go with Dracula. Or, a vampire of any kind, because if the apocalypse goes down, no matter what version of the apocalypse it is, whether it's zombies, whether it's a virus or what, Dracula and vampires, they can fly, and they're pretty much impervious to most things except for wooden stakes. So I feel like my chances of sticking with them and surviving are pretty high.
Good choice. They're already undead. You can't kill them again, right? You already have undead for the undead.
Bing, bang,
so
boom.
There you go. All right, question number 2. Let's be a little silly. I learned in our interview last week that you have a little musical background, along with all your other magical talents. If East Siders had a musical episode, what would be your go-to song to sing?
Oh, no. This is hard. How do I even come up with this? I'm a classy man. I feel like I probably would do something like, I don't know, Xanadu. That feels like a song that I could rock. And something that would translate to Eastsiders.
I like it. Rock it out, my friend. Very, very nice. Little classic. Nice. I love it. All right, question number 3. We talked all about it, your amazing podcast. You won an AVA award for it, all about this alien from outer space that takes over the radio. Which podcast episode of that would you recommend to an actual alien trying to understand humans?
Oh gosh, I think it would just confuse them, to be honest. It is niche, and I'm already, I'm the creator, and I'm saying it's niche. I would probably say the first episode, because it is your entry into the point of the world. You get to see where the radio comes from, where the alien entity that is the radio comes from, and you get the voice talents of Drew Droege and so many other fabulous people involved. So go check it out.
Well said. I love me little Drew Droege. Whenever I can see Drew or Sam Pancake or anybody, you got to tune in. So amazing. All right. Question number 4, Brendan. Let's get back into horror film characters. Name 3 horror film characters you'd want to have with you at a bottomless Sunday brunch.
Oh, okay. I feel like Jason Voorhees. We're going to go mainstream for a second, because much like in any other sport or situation, because frankly, brunch is a sport, it is contact. Jason is an unstoppable force. So whether it's margaritas, whether it's mimosas, whether it's pancakes, whatever you're having at the table, Jason can throw it back. And I don't have to kill myself trying to. So definitely Jason. How many were there again?
Three total. 2 more.
Okay. So Jason, I think I would love to get. I feel like we need to throw someone in there like the wild card, like a Bruce Campbell. Like,
good choice.
we don't know if he's going to kill the monsters or if he's going to become a monster. Like, we need some drama in there, but also he's a good balance of drama and comedy. Who would the last one be? I think, just for shits and giggles, I think that we should go with a Frankenfurter, because who doesn't love an impromptu musical number? And, he looks hot, so.
I like that. Just a sweet transvestite. You need one of those from time to time, right? Nice. And keeping in the cocktail frame of our Sunday brunch, for question number 5, what would you whip up as a classic Halloween type cocktail? What would be in it and what would you call it?
So I actually did just do this, and it's a cheat because I just made an old fashioned, but my partner and I made pumpkin simple syrup instead of regular simple syrup. So it is an autumnal old fashioned with pumpkin simple syrup and a little slice of orange.
I like that. Now, do you do the whole pestle and everything and grind it down with the cherry and the sugar?
I wish I had the equipment to do that. No. We just got store-bought qualities and, our items qualities.
Just had fun with it. I love it. Well, Brendan Haley, you made it through 5 questions. Thanks so much. Guys, check out our interview below. Brendan, remind everyone where they can find you and your fantastic work, my friend.
You can find me on Instagram at Brendan Haley, and you can find me on X and other social platforms at Brendo Hales. And my art is under the label Haley Doodles. It's usually linked, so check it out.
Fantastic. Brendan, stay on the line for me. Guys, we're so lucky to have Brendan and all of our guests come back on Tuesday for Little 5 Questions With. Stay tuned for 2 brand new episodes of Left of Straight Show interviews coming up the next couple days, where we're going to bring a lot of fun to you during spooky season. And we will talk to you next time right here on Left of Straight Show Podcast. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. All right, everyone, if it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With. Back in studio with me, the very handsome, very talented author, Mr. Elliott Schrafer is here. Elliott, welcome back, my friend.
Thanks so much. Glad to be back. Hi, everyone.
We had a great chat with Elliott. If you happen to miss it, his brand new book is out. It's called The Brightness Between Us. Be sure to check out the entire interview in the link down below. Fantastic chat all about authors, his fantastic body of work. But let's have a little fun. You ready to play a little 5 questions?
Let's do it.
Well, one of the things we talked about in the first interview was your fantastic book, Queer Duck, which talks about nonfiction, all these fantastic animal kingdom stories of finding LGBTQ kind of themes in nature here. If you could be any animal for a day, which would you choose and why? And would it be a queer duck? And if you say it's a bottlenose dolphin, I won't tell your husband, I promise.
Yeah, you say the dolphins because they put bonobos to shame. They have really frequent male sex in their societies. I'm not going to say dolphin, but I actually will say bonobo because they are, this animal is our closest relative, and they are matriarchal and peace loving and just so inclusive. Like, all bonobos are bisexual, and it is this sort of different version of how to be a human that we can find in the bonobos. And I think I visited a bonobo sanctuary for research, and they just have the best days laying around, eating fruit, and just hanging out and playing games and having frequent sex too.
I love that. When doing my research, I kind of talked about these 4 different areas of apes. Fantastic. I love that. The study had to be amazing for that. Let's do question number 2, my friend. What's your favorite snack to fuel your writing sessions? And is it different when you're writing about animals versus humans?
I should have animal-themed snacks. I do not. But I'm always have some sort of caffeinated beverage while I'm writing. So that is has to happen. But I think my favorite thing is the kind of bowl that's left over of the Halloween candy after Halloween has happened. And that, for me, is the best breakfast. Like, So a cup of
Very
coffee and some little Butterfingers and Mounds and bit of honeys and whatever is left over from all the trick or treaters that might not have come by. So that is my ideal.
I like it. Now I see why you're releasing this book in spooky season, so you can enjoy the benefits of it, right?
Yes, hopefully some fans will send me some little bite-sized candies.
I love that. All right, question number 3. In the brightness between us, space is vast and lonely. If you were stuck on a spaceship for months, what 3 things would you need to survive and just stay sane?
Wow. So there's a book I reread every year. It's called Howard's End by E.M. Forster.
Mm.
So I would definitely need that book to keep me company. I am a middle-aged man who has a lot of stuffed animals, so I would probably pick one of the stuffed animals to come with me. When you write about animals, people just give you stuffed animals, and like I've actually like had one over the trash. Like, can I throw this away? And I just couldn't. So I just accumulating them. So I'm now like an eccentric man with a lot of stuffed animals. So I think I'd bring one because space, you need a little cuddle sometimes, and that could be very useful. Um, and I think, actually, it's one of the things I was thinking about in the darkness outside us was there's a way in which everything in a spaceship is inorganic. And I have the characters. One of them brings his violin, and they just want to like touch wood. So I think I would have some sort of maybe a violin, like because I did play that growing up. And so I would have that just as a memory of trees and wood, and also a way to make music and not just
Ooh.
be about the computers and stars, but to remember that we're animals as well.
Great answer. I love that. I can't wait to come visit sometime and see this stuffed animal collection all throughout the house.
There's a
That's
lot.
amazing.
You'll go home with 4 or 5.
I love it. All right, question number 4. Do you have a favorite pen or writing tool? Are you someone that can just write whatever when the inspiration hits you, whether it's a crayon or whatever? Do you have to have a certain place you write, certain time you write? What's your process like?
Well, I draft on a computer, but I draft in like a stripped down word processor. So I spend my work life in Word because the edits come in Microsoft Word with track changes, and I don't want to spend more time in Word than I have to. So I have it's called Ohm Writer, and it's just a cursor on a screen with no menus or anything, and it makes little typing sound effects as you type, and it feels different. It feels like drafting instead of on like editing. So it's a way of separating the two. And I love to work in coffee shops because I think for me, my work process, I need to cultivate a sense of shame. Like I feel in a coffee shop, if I'm not working, the people around me are going to be judging me for not being productive, which is ludicrous and it's ridiculous and it's not true. But it also like for subconsciously just gets me energized. Whereas if I'm at home, I could easily tab over to Facebook or play a video game or do anything else. So at a coffee shop, for whatever reason, I become a better human as far as my writing work. So
That is a great answer. I'm the exact same way. My friends always tease me because they say, "Where are you going?" I'm going to my Panera office because that's where I go and get my most work done. If I head over to Panera, I'm going to get some stuff done.
yeah, well, looking
Like,
for my friends' updates, like many novels have been written in Paneras across the country. So it is. There's not that many in New
I,
York City, so I go to a different coffee shop. But I would if there was one nearby.
there you go. Well, yeah. I mean, New York City. I'd try a different coffee shop every day. I love that. Coffee is my drug of choice. I love a good cup of coffee, no matter where. And a nice, creative little cafe. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely love that.
Well, it's very healthy as far as drugs of choice go. So good, well chosen.
Nice. All right. Well, question number 5, Elliot. If the brightness between us had a soundtrack, what's one song would have to be on it? And what about darkness outside of us? It's going to be turned into a feature film, hopefully. What kind of music would you like to see set the mood?
For a film soundtrack, I really love everything that Trent Reznor has done for film.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think that would be amazing. Also, Owen Pallett, who did, he's a queer musician. He did the soundtrack to Her, and also has some great albums that I love the feeling of. They're both kind of upbeat, but also weird, and feel kind of big, and they're sort of like the opposite of pop, but equally hooky and compelling as pop music. So I think that would be wonderful. If there was a track for Brightness Between Us, I'm not sure actually. There's when they play the violin, they play the Prokofiev violin concerto, and that has this like beautiful first movement that I had on repeat when I was writing it. So I guess
Nice.
they would play that. That's a little bit of a, high level answer. There's probably a lot of pop music I would do as well, but that's the first one that came to mind.
No, I love that. All right. Well, very good. Elliott, thanks so much. You made it through 5 questions. Remind everyone where they can find your fantastic website and follow you along on social media.
Thanks so much, Scott. So it's www.elliottschrafer.com. And when you search my name on Instagram and X and all those places, you'll also come up. So that's the way to find me. And the books are in your local bookstore and the big chains too. So
there you go, guys. Check out all of Elliott's work. It's so amazing. I love your website. I've gone down 1,000 feet deep, I think, with you. So it's exciting to see your conversation with yourself there. Elliott Schrafer, it's always amazing to have a great author like you on the show. Thank you very much, guys. If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With. Be sure to stay tuned. Next couple days, we have brand new Left of Straight Show interviews. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our bonus podcast, 5 Questions With. Be sure to look for us every Tuesday as we bring back some of your favorite guests from the previous week's interviews and some special best of 5 questions guests as well. If you haven't subscribed yet or hit the like button, tap those buttons now to help other people find Left of Straight podcasts. We appreciate you for listening and look for our interviews with your favorite LGBTQ and straight allies from entertainment, foodies, music, books, and advocacy. We'll see you next week, because if it's Tuesday, it's time for 5 Questions With.